that President Trump might be open to helping the Republican Party, at least in the short term, if necessary, if it's needed. Anyway, I've now heard from a number of people. I know for a fact Donald Trump has been contacted about possibly him being an interim speaker. Is that a reality?
I don't know. He'd be great, but I want Donald Trump to be the next president of the United States. If he wants to be speaker,
well,
great.
He would still,
but,
well,
I want him to be president
still
of the United
run for
States.
president.
Hey there, guys. Welcome to the channel. So we've got to talk about Speaker of the House, Donald J. Trump. Now, obviously, this is probably not going to happen, but it absolutely 100% should happen. And please, please, God, please make this just the latest installment of Be Careful What You Wish For. Please make this a lesson to the Democrats for siding with anyone and just having a party line, straight, all yay vote for ousting Kevin McCarthy. They need to learn a lesson that, I'm sure that there's at least a dozen people in that Democratic caucus that like McCarthy, that think that they could work with him and that wanted to vote to keep him. But the party wouldn't allow it. And honestly, this would be such a beautiful lesson to watch happen. The media and the establishment meltdowns would be worth literally every bit of heartache that we've gone through, almost every bit recently. And it would just be poetic, man. I mean, regardless of what happens or who it is or who is chosen, we have got to make sure that it really is someone more friendly to our cause than theirs. And I know that sounds like common sense, but it's tough to find in Washington. And really, what did they think was going to happen? Leader Jeffries, I think he made a very, very costly error by making his party vote like this. I don't think Nancy would have screwed this up.
Kevin McCarthy could even have led in a bipartisan fashion. I think Democrats cast their votes because they didn't think he could.
Well, Democrats cast their votes because they were told to cast their vote in a particular way. I mean, we all know that there was probably a diversity of opinion within the Democratic Party, but then the word came out saying, guys, we are not going to bail out Kevin McCarthy. We're going to vote with Matt Gaetz and the hardliners for partisan reasons. Now, what happens next? It's a dice roll. I, as an American citizen, would prefer not to have that kind of dice roll because anyone who says, again, that they know what's coming next, this is unprecedented. Right. We don't know. We do know that the government runs out of money in 45 days. We do know that there are vital priorities like Ukraine aid that are now subject to us having a speaker.
We don't.
So Andrew Yang, man, full disclosure, I actually really do like this guy. I don't often agree with him, but the dude is hyper intelligent, and he usually makes the most sense in any room that he's in. And of course, it helps, him that he's usually in a room stuffed full of Democratic Party hacks. Of course, that helps. But, just like he is here on this thing. But here's the thing. Unfortunately for them, according to Sean Hannity, and obviously take that with a grain of salt, Republicans are currently trying to draft Donald Trump into the speakership, and he apparently is now open to it.
Sources telling me at this hour some House Republicans have been in contact with and have started an effort to draft former President Donald Trump to be the next speaker. And I have been told that President Trump might be open to helping the Republican Party, at least in the short term, if necessary, if it's needed. Anyway, I've now heard from a number of people. I know for a fact Donald Trump has been contacted about possibly him being an interim speaker. Is that a reality?
I don't know. He'd be great, but I want Donald Trump to be the next president of the United States. If he wants to be speaker,
well,
great.
He would still,
but,
I'll be clear.
I want him to be president of the United States.
He's still run for president. He's still going to be running for president.
All right. That's where we need him, is at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. If he wants to be speaker, then that's fine, too.
All right. Well, I think you do want to temporarily to
you can't do them at the same time. You can't do them at the same time. I get that.
So here's what I think. And yeah, not just yeah, but hell yeah. Make this happen. Please, please make this happen. For so many reasons. A lot of them very, very selfish. But here's the main one, right? It's time that the Republicans start playing the game. For too many years, for literally my entire life, they've all been too polite, too concerned with decorum, and honestly too busy getting steamrolled by Democrats that play by their own rules. It's impossible to win a game playing by the rules if the other team doesn't play by themselves. It's that freaking simple. And the Democrats have proven through every attack on Donald Trump, trying to destroy his reputation, trying to destroy his accomplishments as president, trying to destroy his business, trying to steal away his freaking freedom, they're willing to do anything. And it's time Republicans, meet them right where they're at. And how honestly freaking epic would it be to watch Donald Trump presiding over the impeachment of Joe Biden? And how amazing would it be to watch Donald Trump holding meetings and controlling policy when it comes to budget, when it comes to border security? It would just be freaking awesome. Please make it happen. And another thing that I saw from Matt Gaetz that he came up with not long ago is some sort of form of immunity in some of these cases through committee votes and committee testimony. Take a look at this.
You can actually bring President Trump in to give testimony to the Congress, and in doing so, immunize him. Now, there's different forms of immunity that take place at the committee level, subcommittee level. In some instances, for full immunity, you have to have more of a supermajority vote. But if you had a supermajority vote of a committee, like Speaker McCarthy could set up a select committee tomorrow that could bring Trump in and immunize him. And then we could proceed with the very legitimate investigative work that we're doing of the Bidens and the corrupt DOJ. Obviously, we're aware of the ability for any person to plead the fifth. You can dissolve someone's ability to plead the fifth if you immunize them. And so Congress has this ability that's been recognized. It's even laid out in 18 U.S.C.A. 6002 and 6005, if folks want to look it up. But there, you've got the ability to say, well, we're hereby compelling your testimony. We're giving you immunity for anything you say to us and anything that would lead to. And so, for example, if President Trump came in and said, I'm here to give you testimony about the witch hunt, the abuse of criminal process that Congress has legitimate oversight equities to resolve, and if he were to say things to us, we could immunize him for that conduct that he were to discuss.
Does it take a vote, or does it
frequently happens? But these aren't usual times.
Is it a committee vote? Is it the whole House that has to vote on immunization? And when was the last time this statute was used?
I don't know when the last time it was used. I can say it can be any committee or subcommittee that can grant immunities. So we could even bring him into the subcommittee chaired by my good friend and colleague Andy Biggs, the crime subcommittee. That has jurisdiction over some of these activities of the Department of Justice. And if Trump were to essentially become a whistleblower, you have to think about it almost like whistleblower protections. Trump, the ultimate whistleblower, potentially the beneficiary of congressional immunity on some of the information.
Wowzers. Wow. So why not do that? Why wouldn't they have already done that? Is it about decorum? Is it about perception? I mean, do they believe that the Democrats wouldn't do the exact same thing if they had the opportunity, if they needed to? What are they worried about? Are they worried about the media? Is the media going to, what they're going to think? Or what the average brain dead victim of propaganda is going to think? Who cares? These people believe that you're a fascist for taking books about blowjobs away from kids. Who cares what they think? They're going to think whatever they're told to think. Especially when the alternative is to let an obviously corrupt and obviously weaponized lever of power just do whatever the hell it wants. No. That cannot be an option. That can't be an option. So it's time, man, that Republicans stop pretending like they give a hell about following rules that, like I said, the other side doesn't even know exist. And here's the thing. You don't have to be a member of the Congress to hold the speakership, but there is apparently one Republican rule that says you can't be in Republican leadership and be facing criminal indictment. But even that, according to a bunch of news sources, can be changed pretty easily. So here's where we are. We have a Republican House that has a few major decisions out in front of them. So what are they going to do? What are they going to do, and are they going to continue to be weak? What do you guys think? Are they going to do what they always do and elect some old school, boring establishment rhino? Or are they going to choose a true and real conservative? Or are they going to completely tear the place down with a Speaker Donald Trump? Let me know in the comments. And guys, if you haven't already, this is a fun one to make. If you haven't already, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Most importantly, share the channel. We'll see you in the next one.